Hello everyone, and welcome once more to the beautiful South Africa. My name is Ali, as you can hear on the camera if you've managed to deduct it or if you already know. And I am actually very thrilled to be looking at buffalo. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit disjointed. I don't know how this weather is affecting all of us. But before I get to all of that, I just wanted to say welcome again to everyone for joining us today or joining me today on the Africam Show. We're going to be looking at different cameras that are placed mainly around South Africa. And then, of course, there's one sneaky camera all the way up in Kenya and then some others in Botswana. And we're going to try to see what the animals are up to today. Maybe their brains will be a little bit fried like mine due to the humidity and the heat and everything that we're suffering today. It's been quite real, the temperature lately. But having said that, please remember this is live and interactive, and I might be able to go on talking all by myself for a while, but I much prefer it when we have a conversation with other ones. So please send your comments, your hellos, your questions. Let us know what your drink of preference this morning is while you join me, and then we can get going. Oh my goodness, sorry, my brain is not working today, and I apologize for that. I wanted to do two things at the same time, and then load shedding kicked in, and then my brain just went a little bit bad. So we are looking at three buffaloes, as you're looking over there, known as Cape buffalo on the camera, or in this continent. We don't get water buffalo in Africa. Those ones you'll get in Asia. So I see we've got some people that have already or were very prepared and on time to say hello to us. So Zygote, you're saying hi, Ali. Billy T, you're saying you're getting ready for a great show. Thank you, guys. Very happy to have you join us today. And let's see what's actually happening. I think it's been quite nice that we managed to start with some animals on the camera because, well, as we know, wildlife is wildlife. We can't really always tell where they are or where they're going to be, or if they're going to be in a place where the cameras can get them. So when they are in front of a water hole, that's probably the best time. But even then, sometimes we don't get to see them. I mentioned the camera in Kenya earlier, at Old Donyo, and it seems like there might be some giraffes all the way up there. So I think we're going to head up there, take a look, see if they're also feeding just like the buffalo are, or if they're, lots of things happening here, or if they were just having a drink. So it seems like the giraffe and the eland, which are the animals or those other big antelopes that you see walking away, we're here for a drink. We've got a guinea fowl in front of us, and then, potentially some doves, some ringneck doves maybe. I can't see from here. It's lacking a little bit of coloration. But it seems like it's quite busy up there. So one of the perks about the temperatures on the one side, Kenya is not in the rainy season at the moment, so it's very dry, so the animals are attracted to the water holes. And here in South Africa, we've got almost the other side of the coin. It's been very hot. We've had a lot of rain, but because it's very humid, then also a lot of the animals are coming down to the water holes to drink. So it's a very big combination, very good combination for all of us today. I do love when giraffes drink water. It's almost like they're not meant to do it. Glenda, you're saying hello from Indiana, and Bob from Kalamazoo, you're saying hello, Ali. Well, hello to you guys as well. Thank you for joining us. Seems like this party is getting more and more crowded. I was wondering, there was another eland that I could see at the back that maybe I thought would potentially try to be nice and come here, but no. Now, this giraffe that we're looking at, just judging by the horns, it seemed to be a male. It had very nice and bold horns. Oh, seems we've got some flamingos and some coots maybe? Hello, guys. You are probably, well, these ones that we are looking at, we're not in Kenya anymore. I suspect something might have gone wrong with the technological world, but we are looking at Camphor's Dam, where there are, well, a lot of flamingos, because there was a man-made island that was made many years ago to try and promote the breeding of lesser flamingos in this area, and it was quite successful, and it's been a little bit stressful, or sometimes stressful in the last couple of years, because in the rainy season, sometimes all that water comes up, and then there are no suitable nests for the chicks. But it seems like this year everybody's doing just fine. Mary Momo, you're saying hi, Ali from Hot Spring, Arkansas. Thanks for being here to share your knowledge. Oh, thank you. I look forward to the Africam shows every week to bring me closer to a habitat I can only dream of. That's very sweet of you. Well, I'm very happy that these cameras do that for you. They are amazing. Every time that we actually do one of the shows. And then, of course, as you've noticed, and if you haven't, well, we all sort of, or a lot of us that do these shows, we know each other personally. And whenever we close the show, we always comment on how interesting the shows are, even for us, because you see animals doing things that you wouldn't normally see, or sometimes you see them doing pretty cool things. And then there's always something strange and different that comes up. So for us, they're very interesting because even though it's a habitat that we know, we're always being pushed to learn more about it, which is very interesting. And it's actually amazing because you can't really know it all, but the more you see, the better chance you know of increasing your knowledge base, isn't it? Sorry, I went a little bit philosophical there. I love this. Oh, look at them. There you can see the beautiful red. Becky, you're saying, hi, Ali, coffee in hand from West Virginia. Woohoo! Perfect. I'm happy to have a coffee drinker. I am unfortunately not drinking coffee this afternoon, but I'm on to tea because it's a little bit cold. Drive Bunny, you're saying, hello, hope you are getting a break from the heavy rain. Seems like we have. It's been, well, Cyclone Freddy's just come about. But before we do that, I think we've got some kudu at Tau. So let me just ask the guys that are handling the cameras to send us all the way to Tau, because I think it'll be very cool to see the kudu. I don't think I've seen a kudu on the show before. But yes, as I was saying, we've had a bit of a break from the rain, which has been nice. But on the plus hand, look how beautiful Tau looks. It's all green. So all of that generally just comes because of all the rain. The cyclone was quite something. But in the area where I stay, so I don't stay too far from Kruger National Park, but I live closer to the Drakensberg Mountains. So in this particular area, it's been very gloomy the last couple of days for sure. There's been some wind, but it hasn't rained that much. And in Hitsburn town itself, like even today, it's been pouring down with rain. And where I stay, it's been very, very dry. So it's just crazy to think just how localized the rain is. Because I don't know if you guys saw during the week, the Nkoro camp, it poured at Nkoro. I think over the weekend, in one day, they had over 100 millimeters of rain, which was crazy. Like, imagine this scene that you're looking at right now, all covered in rain, and you can't really see anything just because of the wind and the mist and everything else. So it was something crazy to see a couple of days ago, and then today we get a beautiful view like this, where, the way it should be. Beautiful skies, everything green, very relaxed afternoon, animals looking healthy, dry, happy, some of them even having a rest. So it's almost like that cyclone didn't really happen a while back. I mean 2 days ago, which is pretty crazy. I wonder, I don't think we're due for imminent rain like that anymore. So kudus, wildebeest, which are the ones at the back there, all the animals should be pretty happy. I mean, this one that we're looking at is in Taos or around Madikwe area. So they definitely didn't get hit as much as we did with the cyclone that came all the way from Australia. So Cyclone Freddy has come and gone. And whatever damage it had to do, it's done. So I think we're going to be going back to more days like this, which is exciting because, I mean, the temperature, if you come on safari, it gets very hot and it's maybe not always ideal. But when you get those beautiful, clean blue skies at the background, that is wonderful. Alrighty, seems like maybe today we're going to have a giraffe day. So, and Kirst, if you guys can send us, or Max, if you guys can send us over to Naledi, let's see what the giraffes are doing there. Because we know the one at Old Donya in Kenya was drinking. You are eating. So remember, I mentioned earlier to you guys that the other giraffe was a male. If you look at this one, you see the horns are very hairy, very fluffy. So from a distance, I would say that this is a female. It doesn't have that big protuberance in the front of its head. The horns are almost pointing towards one another. So more likely than not, it is a female. Or a couple of them, actually. What you looking at like that? Maybe there are some more giraffes in the area. And it is quite interesting because a lot of the times we think giraffes don't actually see the predators, but giraffes can be a very good thing to find leopards, funny enough, because they just stare and then they just look and then they don't look away and then they won't necessarily make an alarm call. Actually, I take it back. You look like a boy from here. Very thick horns. And they just stare at leopards, so sometimes we can get to see them like that. Drive Bunny, you're wondering which giraffes are at Old Donya. Someone said reticular in the chat. I would have to double check, but I don't think you get reticulated giraffe in Old Donyo. They generally found further north around the Laikipia region of Kenya, so far into northern Kenya. The ones that we've seen on the camera, or the ones that I've seen every time on the camera, are actually just the Maasai giraffe. So not the reticulated ones. The pattern is a little bit different. So if you look at the pattern of this giraffe, you see it's almost like blotches and patches. That's the reticulated giraffe. It's almost like they have these squares. It's a more geometrical pattern, if I can put it that way. I actually posted a photo of one on social media not long ago because I was fascinated. I've never seen reticulated giraffes, and they are beautiful. I mean, no offense to the South African or Maasai giraffe that we see, but the reticulated ones are, I think, my favorite because they're just so beautiful. Seems like we have more Eland coming up at Old Donyo. Let's head over and just have a look up there. Not sure where these guys are. Okay, you do seem to be a female. And I wonder about the other one. Oh, hello, Eland. I do find them incredibly beautiful. They are, I would say, if we have to look at the sort of large, almost antelope-looking herbivores, or I mean, the eland is an antelope, but the giraffes almost look like one because they're so big. We tend to not group them together with when we think of big creatures like with the rhinos and the elephants and the hippo. The elands would be sort of, I would say, if we take the pachyderms and the hippos out, would be the animal that's next in size to a giraffe in terms of how big they are. And let's take also, this comparison is actually really bad. Please don't take my word for it. What I'm trying to say is that they are the largest antelope that we get here. So I was trying to classify them, taking out, in terms of size, taking out the buffalo, the elephant, the rhino, and the hippo. And we would get the eland. Is that good? You're saying we do hear the eland clicking sound at El Dueño. Oh, yeah, that's great. Remember the last, I can't remember now if it was last week or whenever we did the show that I was asking actually about it if we could hear the clicking sound. And it's a very, very cool clicking sound that big males, such as the one that we're looking at, maybe we'll hear it, I'm not sure, that they make when they walk. So it's not if you haven't heard it, pay attention to the cameras whenever there's one around because it's very cool. But it's an involuntary sort of click. There's a tendon that moves on top of their kneecap, and once the tendon moves, then it creates this clicking noise. And it is theoretically believed that its use is to advertise sort of status and dominance and just how big the animal is. So kind of like, a lion has a big mane to tell everyone from a distance how big they are or that they are a male lion. In fact, the eland have the clicking sound just to say, I'm very big. You can hear my very big click, so don't even think about it. That would be basically what they would try to do. Surprised at how thirsty eland are, or this particular eland is. Generally, you'll find them sort of like bachelor groups, so the males with some other males, and then of course the males can also trail the females or stick around with a particular group. Oh, pretty eland. Oh, look at that pretty face. They're also massive. I mean, almost seems like they need bigger legs, don't they, just to be able to support that entire weight. All the ox pickers on it. I just want to see what this eland does. If it does leave, then we'll go to Naledi because the giraffes are still there. I think I heard the click. I don't know if you heard that, but I'm definitely going to count it as a click. Oh, alrighty. I think first, let's just rather go to the giraffes because they're still at Naledi because they are nice giraffes. Oh, hello, East African oryx. How you guys doing? You are pretty, but we've swapped you for giraffes. Sorry, it's not personal. You guys appeared there a little too late and only for us to come and view giraffes that are hiding their heads. Well, isn't that lovely? At least one of you is showing your face. This is typical of all the animals. Oh, there's a third giraffe. You try to give them a chance and then you want to put them on camera and then the second they do, Or the second you do, they just disappear. At least we've got this nice one that is photobombing right in the middle. I think all animals are looking very well fed, if not a tad pregnant, these girls, just from the roundness of their bellies. Where are you gonna go? Let's see what it does, because it might be coming back in front of us. No? Jim, you're wondering which giraffe pattern is my best. I think reticulated giraffe. They are. So we get roughly 4 big patterns, I would say. We get the South African, the Maasai, the reticulated, and I am missing another one. Oh, the Rothschild giraffe is another one that has a beautiful pattern, but I would say definitely reticulated. It almost looks like they're part of some geometrical puzzle. They're very beautiful. So there's less light color, and there's just the white in between these very big. Oh, there's a 4th giraffe in there. Goodness, all those giraffes are hiding, guys. Can you believe that pattern actually manages to do that for them? We're looking at creatures that are potentially 4 to sort of 3.5 to 5 meters tall, the tallest one that might be around there. And all they have to do to disappear and blend in the bush in the summertime is just walk behind a tree. I mean, it doesn't sound like something that's possible, is it? That something so big would just have to go and hide behind a plant, and then we wouldn't be able to see it. And just, it's a dual thing. They do lose. Oh, have you got something there? It seems like this giraffe that's moving has got some sort of wound, or an abscess maybe. I don't think I'm seeing pixelation. I think this giraffe, so when it was walking in front of in between the sort of front legs on the left-hand side, there seems to be something. I don't know if maybe an old wound or some sort of protuberance that was around there. What is happening with you, giraffes? You also seem like something funny is going on. Maybe we've got a pregnant female that is getting ready. Sorry, let me just go see. There are some questions here. I got a little bit distracted by that giraffe. Jive Bunny, you're saying that you're all surprised seeing a giraffe standing next to the lions almost every night on Old Donya. What? And the cubs stare at the Tusker Ellis in awe. That's funny. Wow, that is quite something. I mean, those lions could definitely go for the giraffe. And I don't remember if it was at the Old Donya cam where we saw a couple of weeks ago the lions actually go for the giraffe. I think it was somewhere else, but that is crazy. And that the cubs stare at the Tusker Ellis. Well, I suppose then that makes a little bit more sense, because lions won't necessarily go for the big tuskers and the big elephants. Is this our friend that had that wound? My camera is doing something, but it definitely looks like there's some sort of wound or pattern in there. That is crazy. Oh look, it's a stumpy tail too. Righty, I think maybe Kirst is telling us what the rest of the cameras are seeing. Maybe let's just do it by order and go have a look at the impalas that might be there, just so that we don't discriminate against them, because they are very cool creatures, even though we've been paying attention to all the bigger antelope. Or ruminants, I should say. Let's call them ruminants. Hi guys. Habitat Hogue, you're wondering where do ticks lay their eggs? Well, a lot of the times in plants, and then the ticks will attach themselves to a host or an animal, or sometimes, like in my case, a human that walks past the area where they are. They will gorge themselves and then mate and drop to lay their eggs, or they will just molt and attach themselves to a new host, because some of them need to be on a couple of hosts to complete their life cycle, and then drop again. So sometimes when you're walking in the bush, it's actually, and this is what happened to me recently. I sat down in the bush in an area, funny enough, where it was just muddy. There weren't even plants or anything. And I think I actually sat either on top or very close to a pepper tick's nest. So tiny, tiny little red ticks that I had all over me. So you start itching and then you don't realize what it is. You think it's just a little bite, and then one bite becomes about 5 different bites. And you see these tiny, tiny, tiny little red dots on you. So what we're seeing now, wonderful tick infestation area. I'm sure the impala are full of it, and I'm sure the grass is full of it. It's this is why sort of like in creatures like the impala, the social grooming is so important, because they will it only also in other sociable creatures like the lions it's very important, but it's not only because it reinforces social bonds, but also because it allows them to keep sort of better physical conditions. So while they comb each other, while they sort of clean each other out, then they'll get rid of a lot of ticks and other parasites and things that they might have on their skin. Talking, yes, elephants. Let's head to the elephants at Old Doño. It seems like I'm hoping maybe one of these tuskers that the cubs continue looking at has come. Okay, not a big tusker, still an important elephant to look at. It's just that Old Doño, the Old Doño area in general is very well known for elephants with massive tusks. So if you haven't seen them yet, or if you're just tuning in, there are elephants that have very impressive, very large tusks. This is a good set of tusks, but there are some individuals that have very, very sort of, I want to say scary, but it's not scary, the word, impressive, or impressive looking leg. Who are you trying to chase out of the water, hey Ellie? There's nobody else other than us, and you can't see us. I wonder what it is. So if you're wondering, yes, it is a male elephant. It's not unusual for males to wander around by themselves. A lot of the times, as a matter of fact, the males will just be a little bit bothered with the hustle and the bustle and, all the movements in a herd. So as they start becoming, oh, there's another one. So as they start becoming older, they start hanging out either with sort of other bachelor males for a little while, or they become what is known as an askari, so a young male that almost shadows an older male and learns the ways of how to be an independent elephant bull. And then they just shadow them, and then as they get older, they might associate sort of in pairs, but it's not rare to find a male elephant by themselves or by itself. I think unfortunately in this case, the giraffe might have wanted something to drink, and then the elephants decided that no. Tabitha, you're going back to the tick comment and saying you would not want to sit in a tick's nest. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking about tuskers. I don't recommend it. It is not fun. I have tick bites in places that I would prefer not to have tick bites, but at least the worst is done and I'm not as itchy as I was. I think I had about 5 of them in total. And then they left multiple bites, but we're done with that. Look at this scene. This is stunning. That's very nice. I like it when they fool us and they're all hanging out together and we don't know it until the very last minute. It's almost like they came in order of tusk size. I think Percy's sharing some information, and she says that the male in the middle, the tusker, he could be one that is known as, as 1 ton. I think that would be a fitting nickname for an elephant. Amazing. It's so special to actually see elephants in general with such long tusks. We don't have many of them left in the world. And then, of course, Amboseli area and Tsavo are very good areas in Kenya in particular to go see those big tuskers. I think maybe in South Africa you'd have to go further north into the Kruger, sort of from Zatara upwards, to actually see elephants with this kind of tusks. Unfortunately, big tusks are genetically passed down. So, of course, in the 80s when we had a lot of poaching, a lot of these beautiful genes for big tuskers were sort of weaned out the populations. And this gave the opportunity for elephants with either no tusks or smaller tusks to actually reproduce with more females. We don't have as many of them, although they seem to almost be wanting to make a bit of a comeback. So hopefully in the next, let's say, 20 to 30 years, we'll see elephants like this more commonly again. I mean, the two, no offense to the one on the left, but the one on the right also had a good idea. Also has very thick tusks, especially if you compare it to the one on the right. And then, of course, well, the middle one, the 1 ton, has the most impressive set of tusks there. Jai Bunny, you're saying gorgeous Ellie boy. I fully agree with you. You say we love all of them, but 1 ton is our favorite. Well, that's, this is a friend of many. I can see why he would be your favorite elephant, or why he would be anyone's favorite elephant. They almost speak to another time, don't they? Another wilder time. It must be quite impressive to actually see them with your own eyes. Can you imagine? I would feel tiny. There's, in Kruger National Park, there in one of the camps called Letaba, there's an elephant museum. And then they put there sort of all of the tusks of the Tuskers that they've had, that have Palmer, have been very famous in the Kruger. And then one of them, I can't remember its name. I think it was Makinyane, but I'm not sure. I could be making this up. Had similar tusk size as the one of 1 ton, sort of one shorter, but both of them sort of curved inwards. And it's amazing because you see them from a distance and you're like, oh, they're not that bad. And then you go and you stand next to them. And I mean, these things are easily a couple of 100 kilograms each other. So I'm guessing here it would be at least sort of 80 kgs of just this very thick tusk, ivory, very long. So it's always quite special to see these animals with such big assets. I love watching elephants in the water, elephants drinking. Like, I could watch it all day. I find it so peaceful, especially with the dub chorus in the background. You can hear sort of flies every now and again. That's potentially why the elephants are sort of flapping their tails as much as they are, just trying to get the flies away from them. And then a little bit of the ear flapping, not because they're upset or anything, but perhaps because it's a little bit cold. A little bit hot. So just trying to cool itself down. The best way though would be to do what the elephant on the right is doing, which is just spraying water on top of itself. Just to cool down, on top of itself, or particularly behind the ears, because that's where there are a lot of veins and capillaries. So the quicker those veins get cooled down, then the quicker the blood that flows through those veins is going to cool down, the quicker the elephant's going to cool down in general. Probably not too comfortable in Africa to carry around, very, very thick skin in the summertime. That's come in handy against the sun and in the cold weather, but I suppose there's a bit more upkeep in the summertime. I must say, 1 ton looks like an older individual and very impressive set of tusks, but in terms of size, it doesn't seem to be the biggest one of them all. Like general body size, it actually seems to be smaller than the other two, which is interesting. Or at least from this angle. Tabitha, how you're saying we've got to love the quirky ones because they seem to have a little bit more character. This is true. Always like somebody, I think we all always root for the underdog. Elephants are funny. So they just, like I'm tired of drinking water from this side. Now I want the water that you were drinking, so I'm going to come and drink from here. Thank you. I wonder if maybe the pipe isn't somewhere around there, because elephants do like drinking the freshest water. So whenever there's a pumped water hole like this one, they will find wherever the pipe is and then just drink from that. I think I'm kind of hypnotized here with everyone. What a beautiful view. think with this beautiful view, I'm gonna take my leave and wish everyone a happy afternoon, happy continuation of your day and of your week. As we've come to an end of the show today, but very, very nice to spend it with one ton, and for me to meet one ton, and then just in general with the elephants. I hope you guys will enjoy them for a while longer. This is definitely the way I'd rather be spending my afternoon today.